Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesigntechtips.com. Well, we've got a long one for you today. We're going to design a complete site. We're going to build a resume site. It's going to be a one-page scrolling site that you can go down to each section. It'll explain it to you. And we're going to do the thing from start to finish, including the logo, footer credits and menu. Really easy to do. Let me take you through it. So here we have our site. We're at the top, we've got a little logo with his initials in there. We've got a menu up here that's going to scroll to the various sections, or at least most of them that we want to scroll to. We've got a little back to the top button here. And if we scroll down, I've got buttons that are going to link to various sections. Resume is going to link to experience. Now if we roll down a little bit more, we've got portfolio one here that's going to link to the portfolio. Portfolio's got an image on it. When you click on it, it's going to take you to that appropriate link. And we've got an automated references section here. It's a bit like a testimonial slider, but for his references. It's rolling around every 7 seconds there, which is quite a nice little feature. And just down below that, we've got a regular contact form they can fill out and get in touch. And of course, got his little email, number, social media icons down there. Another little menu at the bottom there. And a little footer credit. And of course, these will take us back to the various sections as well. Really easy to do. So let's get started. I'm going to start a new page. I'm going to call it resume site. I'm going to use the Divi builder. Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to reset this site so we've got a vanilla Divi site to start working with. Okay, I've reset this site. I'm going to presume that you've already got Divi. If I go down to the dashboard, if you don't have Divi, you can try it out from the link below this video. Once you've downloaded it, go to Appearance, Themes, hit the Add New Theme, then hit the Upload Theme button. Browse to where you've downloaded your Divi, or you can just drag it across and hit the Install Now. Once it's installed, you'll want to activate it. I've already got mine installed, so I'm not going to go any further there. Okay, well, let's go back to our page. Once you start a new page with Divi, this is what you're going to see. I'm going to use a little pre-made layout to start this off today, and we're going to customize it to our needs. Okay, and I'm looking for a resume type template. So they call it a CV or curriculum vitae. Very European there. And there's quite a few to choose from here. I'll use the same one as I used before, which was this fella right here, Creative CV homepage. If you click on it, it'll give you various. If you want to build a multi-page site, that's fine. But I'm actually going to use a single page site, so I'm going to use the landing. I just left clicked on it. It's brought it up here. If you want to view a live demo, just click on it. It'll open the live demo in a new window for you right here. If you're happy, go ahead and say use this layout, little blue button right there. And there it is. It's loaded it straight into our page here with everything that was on the previous one. I mean, it's okay looking, but you might want to style it to your own needs. I quite like the black background. I'm happy with the text and everything. Not sure about the orange color. I think that we'll make that our own. So to start changing things out, let's go into this row here. Green tab for a row. Hit the little cog to go in there. Let's have a look at the background here. Yeah, you can see it's highlighted for the gradient there, and they've got it starting about 40% over the page there. All I'm going to do is change that from an orange to a blue. Obviously you change yours to whatever color you want. Fantastic. And we've got a bit left over here. I think they've actually used shadow for that on this. So if we go over to design, look at the box shadow here. Yeah, they've got this one highlighted right there. So all I need to do is change the color of that shadow just down here and change it from that orange to the blue I want to use. And we got that little section done right there. Of course, we want to put our own name in here, and you can either double click and just type, or you can actually go into the module itself and enter it that way. And I think I called him John Simmons. Obviously you'd want to put your own name in there. Great. And our John Simmons is a web designer, so we can go into this one below. And let's change out product for web. Fantastic. We've got some little social media icons here. Let's just change the color of those. And obviously you're going to want to link to your social media page. So I'm going to go into the Facebook one. Obviously put your link down below here to your Facebook page where you want to take them. I'm going to change that background color. Let's use the blue we've been using there. And perhaps on hover, we'll have it turn white. And common to all Divi modules, if you roll up over the dark writing within a module, if you see an arrow there, we can set one state for the desktop when the mouse is not on it, and another state for hover, completely different value. Click on the hover tab right there and we'll make that white when we hover over it. Fantastic. And you want to do that for all your links. Save it, it'll take you back to the main social media site here. I'm going to extend the colors on this one. So I'm going to say extend the item styles just to this column right here. Fantastic. And of course, if you want to add a new one or an extra one, just pop that in there. And we'll throw an Instagram one in. Obviously, put your Instagram page link in there. And we want that background color to be the same. And on hover, we want it to be white. Fantastic. Let's just flip that back to regular state there. Great. And we'll save all the changes there. We've got a little email address here. Again, you can just go in, put in whatever email address you want to there. It's going to be John. Let's call it S Design. Now they've got it linking to what they call a mail to link. So when you click on it, it'll bring up the default mail client of whatever device they're looking at it on and fill it out with that address. If we look at this, it's called mail to, and then put in whatever URL you want to be pre-filled right there. And that's the text that's going to be displayed. When you're happy, just hit OK. Great. And of course, exactly the same thing for the number and exactly the same thing for the address there. I'm going to leave those two just as they are, as this is fictitious. Obviously, you want to put in yours. I'm going to come back to the buttons at the end and we'll link them to various different sections and they'll scroll to the various sections. Really easy to do. With the About Me, it's exactly the same thing. I'm going to leave that. I quite like that. A creative in San Francisco, that's fine too. But we're a web designer, so let's go in here and just change this up slightly. So we're going to say web designer with a passion for building projects that promote perhaps your business. Obviously, you want to put what you want to put there. And a little bit about yourself. I've got a paragraph over here. So again, I'm going to click on this. You can go in there or you can just type on top of it. I'm going to replace it with my own text. Hit the little check mark to save. And we got that little section done as well. Brilliant. Well, experience wise, it's exactly the same thing here. I'll leave that just as it is. I'm happy with it, everything here, but obviously I want to change it to web designer. So I'll quickly populate this exactly the same way as we did the one above. There's no point me making you watch me do that again. So I'll do it quick. I'll pause the video and do it quickly again. Okay, well, I've populated that with my own text there. Got a little dash there that I didn't want in there. Let's just take that away. Just exactly the same as we did with the one above. It's got a little button at the bottom that's going to go down to the portfolio. I'm going to change out that orange color for a blue color. And like I said, with that button above, we're going to link these buttons when we've actually built this site. So let's go into the button, over to design, down to button, use custom styles for button. If it's not open already, just flip it to yes. And I'm going to change that to blue. And let's have it black on hover. It's already there. Fantastic. Leave that just like that. We'll come back and do the link in a minute. We've got a little brand section here. They've got a few little logos. Obviously, you can put your own logos in. I'm going to leave this just as it is, but I'm going to change that background to just make it look a little bit more interesting. So let's go into the section, blue tab for the section. I'm going to go to background. I'm going to use that blue color, but I'm going to merge it with an image. So I'm going to go to the third tab along, background image. And that reminds me also, we need to put the image of our fellow John in the top here. And I'll do that in a minute when we finish this. Go back down to this section. So I'm going to add an image. I've already got my images uploaded. There's our fella right there. I've got a bigger picture of him down here somewhere. There he is. I'm going to pop that in the background. But I'm going to merge it with that blue color. And to do that, if we just roll down a little bit while we're in the image tab, background image blend. I'm going to put mine on multiply. It multiplies that blue color with it. Makes for quite an interesting background right there. Just undock that. Great. And there's a button down the bottom again. Let's just save our section settings here. Don't think I'll turn it blue because it's on blue. Could even leave it that orange. Let's make it not quite such a bright orange. So let's click on it, hit the little cog, over to design, to button. Here we are. Here's the background color. Let's use their default orange. Not quite as outrageous. Of course, if you like that brighter one, leave it as it is. And again, we'll come back with that one and decide where we want to link it. I forgot to put John's picture in up here. Again, this is just an image module. If we click on it, we can go in there, click on that fella. There's the picture I'm going to use. And we've got our own fella up there. Fantastic. Well, we're shooting through this quite quickly. Great. We've got our experience done. We've got our little brands done down here. Education skills. Again, it's just a matter of repopulating. First thing I want to do, I'm going to leave the text like that. I'm going to go in. I'm going to change this background color to that blue that we've been using. I believe that's on the column that we're sitting in here. So if we go into the row, we've got two columns, a left-hand one and a right-hand one. If I go into this column now and look at the background, yeah, it's that orange color. If I move this out the way so you can see, I'm going to do that. Save it back to the row, and we can go in, start putting our own skills in. And again, I'm just going to populate this the way we've been doing the text up there. It's a title there. I'm just going to change it to what I need. So I'll pause the video and just do this quickly. Great. Well, I've put my own skills in there and qualifications. And we're good to go. So let's roll on down a little more. We've got a kind of portfolio section here, or recent work section. Obviously, we want to change out these images. So let's go into one of them. I see it's got an orange overlay. I'm going to change that overlay color as well. So I'm going to hit the cog to go in there. We'll swap it out for our image. We'll pop that one in there. I want to link this image to that actual website. So I'm going to go in there just under the image in the link. I'm going to open it in a new tab so that our site stays open. Great, and let's just change that overlay color, the orange. I'm not too keen on that one. In design, there's an overlay at the top. They've got there, so that opaque orange. I'm going to change mine to a blue. Not sure if I want it quite as full as that. I'm going to take the opacity down a little bit more. Maybe even a little bit more than that. That's fine. If you want to change out that icon, you can do so down here. I'm going to leave that one just as it is. And I'm going to do exactly the same for our next three here. Again, I'll just pause this. Okay, well, I've changed those out now. I've just put the name of the actual site down below there. If you're not sure, it's just exactly the same as we did above. Just go in there and replace it with the text that you want. And there's, again, a little button at the bottom here. We'll sort that out in a minute. I think we'll have that go to the contact form or something when I'm ready. But again, I'm just going to change the color initially to that blue color we've been using over in design. Button. There's the orange. I'm going to swap it out for a blue. And again, we want to have it black on hover. Great. We'll save that. And we'll move on down. Okay, down here we've got a static sort of testimonial type slider with references in it. And you can click on them and roll them along. But of course you're going to want to put in your own there. So let's make this our own. I'm going to go in there. Here are our three references here. And it's all in the title, so we can put in our own content by simply double clicking on this till it's all blue and pasting our new one in there. If I move this out of the way, you can see. And we've got a name down at the bottom there. So again, we can put in what we want. And when we're happy, we'll save that. That's okay. I'm going to be changing the color. Now, if you want to add a new one, you can either add a new one like that, or you can clone an existing one and fill it out with all the styling that's already there. I'm happy to have three though. That's entirely up to you. So again, I'm going to make this section a little bit more interesting because there's a lot of white going on here. I'm going to give it a background image, and let's perhaps turn this testimonial slider white, and we'll have it auto scrolling as well. So let's just save the slider itself there. I'm going to go up into the blue tab for the section. I'm going to add a background image again. I think I'll put that color blue in there and we'll merge the image with that color. That worked quite well. I'm going to go over to the third tab for the image. Select whatever image you want for your background. I think I used something like this last time. That's great, but again I want to merge it because it's kind of too busy for what's going on there. Like I say, I'm going to turn this all white in a moment. So we know how to merge that background color. Just go down, background image blend. I'm going to use multiply. They've got some crazy ones there like luminosity and stuff and saturation. You can get some amazing things going with those. That actually looks quite good. But I'm going to use my multiply today, which will just make it go with the blue. And let's change all our text to white so we can actually see it over that background. Okay, I've got a little separator up there. It's a divider. So design, line color, I want to make that white, it's black at the moment. I just double clicked on it to get into it. If you have trouble finding an element, expand your little purple button at the bottom like we had it just now, and you can go over to what they call wireframe view. It's back end view. And you'll see everything laid out in its elements right here. If you have trouble finding something to change it, should be fine on this one because I'm showing you everything. But if you're using perhaps a different template or something, you might find that useful. And our references there, I want to turn that white also, so we can go in there. That's a heading 6. So if we roll over it, there's a little paintbrush attached to it. We can hit the paintbrush. It'll take us straight to it, heading 6. Let's make that white in color. See that nicely on that background there. And I also want to do the same thing for our slider here, a little testimonial or reference slider. So we'll go into that one, dark tab for the module. Now that's our heading text right there. Again, they've got little paintbrushes attached to those various texts. So let's go into that one. Going to make that white. Going to hit the paintbrush associated with this next one. Going to make that white too. And they've got a little paintbrush down here which is for the pagination and the arrows when they turn up. So I want to make those white also. Arrows and the dot navigation. Fantastic. And I want to make sure my other slides are going to be exactly the same. So if we go back to our content here, we've already done this one. I can right click and extend item styles to this column. That's great. I need to populate these two. But before I do that, let's get this rolling. Let's have it automatically rolling around these little testimonials here. To do that, make sure you're in the main slider settings, not in one of your slides here. Go over to design, roll down to the bottom, you'll find animation. Automatic animation. I'm going to turn that to on. By default, it's 700 milliseconds. So that's going to roll around every 7 seconds. If you want to make it faster, put a smaller value in there, like 5,000, 4,000. If you want to make it slower, put a smaller value in. Okay, I'm going to pause this again and I'll just populate those next two slides. Great, well that's that all taken care of. We've got our little rolling testimonials going on there. Fantastic. And just down below here, we've got a regular contact form, and that's pretty much all going to work for me right there. Of course, we need to configure this so that it gets sent to the same place, so let's do that. I'm going to click on here. Let's go into the actual form itself. Click on any of the fields here, dark tab for the module. Here's our contact form. I'm happy with those. If you want to add a new field, you can do so with the plus there, and you can have drop down boxes and things like that. As you see, it's put that new field in there. Once you've configured it, save it to how you want it. You can drag it up and down, put it wherever you want it. I'm happy to just have the 3 that we had though there. So I'm going to hit the trash can. Fantastic. Okay, we're not going to use the title because we've already got that Let's Work Together up there. If you want to change that, just click on it and change the text there. You do want to have a success message though. So we'll say message sent. That's what's going to pop up when they send this message or hit the submit button down there. If you want to change the text on the submit button, you can put anything you want in here. Let's say reach out. Whatever you want to say on yours, obviously. Now here's the important part. The email address. This is where you want to get the email sent to. So that's you at your email address, wherever it is you want this email to be delivered to. So me at myemail.com, whatever your email address is there. We won't do message patterns. You can put double percentage signs in and decide how you want to see this, but it's such a simple form, you'll get all of those anyway, so there's no point in that. Don't want it redirected. We've got that little pop-up message saying your message has been sent. If you want to redirect them to a different page or something like that afterwards, you can do so by putting that on, putting your URL in there. For me, it's going to work as it is. If you're getting a bit of spam from this site, you can enable spam protection. You can use a spam protection service such as Google Recapture, or they've got a basic one, which will make them add a little additional sum in there. At the moment, I'm good with it though. Don't need a link. Background, I'm happy with the way that background's looking. Fantastic. Well, down here we've got another email. Obviously, we want to send this to our fella, which was John. That S design, wasn't it? And again, they've got this linking to a mail too. It's entirely up to you whether you want to do that. put any link in there, just select it, hit the little chain icon there. You've got mail to, and then an email address, which will pop up the default mail client for whatever device it's being watched on. And that's the text that we've got displaying there. So I'm happy with all that. Number, I'll leave that just as it is. You can change that to your number. And the social medias, we know how to change those. At the moment, I'm happy to leave those just as they are. But again, if you want to add one or delete one, just hit the plus to add one. Just hit the little trash can to delete one. Make sure you put the link in there to the page you want to take them. And we're pretty much good to go there. Now down here we've got a bit of a widget area. I'll show you how to get rid of that in a moment. Unless you're planning to put widgets in there, I'm not for ours. But we need to create a menu. That's actually the old menu I created. And I'll show you how to put those footer credits in there also. But before we go any further, let's go to our buttons here, decide where we want our buttons to go. I'm going to give most of our sections here what they call a CSS ID, so we can actually link to them. Okay, we've got to use some CSS IDs on our buttons today to be able to link to actual sections. Now I've given each section a CSS ID or a name that you can identify it with. Once we've given it a name, we can use any button with a hashtag in front of it, then the CSS ID name, to scroll down to that particular section. And that's a really nice little interactive element to have on any website. You see it an awful lot. And we'll be doing a similar thing later on when we do the menus. Let's get back to the build. So let's go to this contact form one. I'm going to go in there. Advanced is always where you'll find CSS IDs and classes, and this will enable us to target it and link actually to it. I'm going to call this contact. You can call yours what you want. It needs to be unique. There mustn't be anything else on this page with that name. I guess we're going to want to link to this references here, so let's go into this section. I'll give this a CSS ID. Let's just call it ref. That'll do for me. And our little portfolio, let's change that button to more information, and we'll have it actually link to our contact form here. So remember, we gave that contact section a CSS ID of just contact. Let's go into our button. I'm going to change the text so it says more information. If I move this, you can see what's going on there. And the link, to link to any of these CSS IDs, we have to put a hashtag in there. Hashtag, then the CSS ID itself, which was contact. When they click on that, that'll take them straight down to that contact form, and I'll demo all this in a little while. And here's our portfolio. We're going to link to this with our menu, so I'm going to give this a CSS ID. And we'll say port, whatever you want to call yours, obviously. Education, I think we'll link to this one as well in our main menu. I'm going to copy the same as I did before up here, which was about experience, education, portfolio, references, and contact. And I'll show you how to build that menu in a second. We're going to go to this one, Advanced CSS IDs and Classes. And I'm going to say edu. Great. And for our case studies, again, I think I'll have more info and link that to the contact form. So I'm going to click on the button here. We'll go in there. Let's move it out of the way so you can see. And the link, always have to have a hashtag when you're linking to it, and contact. So that will link to our little button, our contact form down there. Fantastic. I'm not going to link to this section from the menu, I don't think. Portfolio. Well, we want to link that to the portfolio, obviously. Let's go into the button again. Name's fine. But the link, it was hashtag and the CSS ID of port. I think we gave that one. rolling on up, we're in pretty good shape. My resume, you could download it, put a downloadable PDF if you wanted to there. But again, I think I'm just going to have this go to the contact form. So again, let's go into this button. I'm happy with the color it is there. The white's going to work fine there. My resume, say contact me. Link, again, we want to link to the contact form. Hashtag contact. Fantastic. Great, well we've got all our button links in and for our sections there. What we need to do now is actually brand our site, make this header look a bit better. We'll create the menu for it and also take care of the footer. So let's make sure we got everything saved here. I'm going to go ahead and publish this page and exit the Visual Builder because I want to make this the home page of the site. Okay, well first things first, let's go down to our dashboard. I've got it open here with the themes. And let's brand this site. Okay, of course you're going to want to brand your site to make it stand out from all the other sites that are out there. If you just leave it as it is, it'll just have the default Divi logo up there, and that's really not going to look too professional, especially for a web designer. So today we're going to add the logo. We're going to add the favicon, which is the tiny little logo that appears up there in the tab of your browser. I'm sure you've seen it on a lot of sites, as well as adding a site tagline. Really easy to do. Let's get back to it. So I'm going to go down to Divi. I'm going to go down to theme options. And right at the top here, we can add our logo. Hit that little upload button here. There's what I've got for my little logo. Mine's actually 100 by 100 pixels, which should fit nicely. I'm going to set that as the logo. And while I'm here, I'll show you how to add a back to the top button, which is great for one page scrolling sites. If we roll down this page a little bit, we're under the general tab here. Here's a back to the top button. If it's not enabled, just simply click on it till it is enabled. That's great. Once you do anything on this page, make sure you save your changes till you get a little green check mark just like that. We were all under the general tab here. Okay, well let's set the home page and we'll add what they call a favicon, which is a little icon that you see up there, and give it a site title, an ID. So let's go to Appearance and Customize. I'm going to open this in a new tab by hitting my middle mouse button. And you may think that's the home page we built, but it's not. It's the one I built before I started building this one to show you in the beginning. To set your home page, go down to Home Page Settings here. Make sure you've got it radio button on a static page there, not the latest posts. Then select the page that you've built. Mine's called Resume Site right there. You won't notice much difference because it's exactly the same as the one we've got here. Great. And that's set that as the home page now. Whenever they navigate to the URL, this is the page that's going to come up. So let's go back. We're going to go into the general settings here. Site identity. Well, I'm going to say John Simmons and tagline web design. And that'll appear up here once I publish it. Now the site icon, at the moment, it's got that little orange thing up there. It's got to be at least 512 by 512. I've got one that's 600 by 600, so that should work fine. And that's this one right here. So I'm going to select it. As you can see, it's replaced that up there. Fantastic. Great. Well, let's publish our changes here. And there's our little logo we put up there. It's okay, but I kind of wanted it on a black background, and I like our menu to be light in color up here. And again, I'm going to show you how to create this menu in a moment. So if we arrow back here, and one more time, and we'll go down to header and navigation. This is called our primary menu bar here. And there it is right there. So if I go in there, I can set the background color. Let's make the background color black rather. Can't see any of our links. I know this is not the correct menu for us, but I'll make it white anyway. active link color, text color. I'm going to make the text color white. You can make your active link any color you want if you want to. I'm going to leave it all as white. It doesn't look very white to me. It's because the opacity slider is down a bit, so we can take it up to make it look a nice bright white. And that's kind of nice looking. The reason it's changing color when we scroll down there, once we start scrolling down, that's no longer the primary menu bar. That is now the fixed navigation settings. So if you wanted to, you could have a completely different color and background for your primary menu. And I'll just demonstrate that. If we go back one arrow now, there's the fixed navigation. If we go into our fixed navigation and I perhaps change the primary menu background color, well, let's change it to that crazy blue, staying black, but once I start rolling down, it'll change to that blue color. Just wanted to demo that. I'm actually going to make it black, but I'm going to take the opacity slightly down so we can just see a little bit of the site rolling through there. That's okay. And again, I want my text to be a nice bright white. So primary menu link color, I'm going to select that. I'm going to make it white. Perfect. Fantastic. That's great. So let's make sure we publish our changes. Now we actually need to create the menu that's going to link to all these. I know it's going to be exactly like this one, but you're going to need to create it. So let's go back to our theme options here. We'll go down to Appearance and Menus. Here's the one I created earlier. We'll need to create a new one. So over here we've got Create New Menu. I'm going to call mine Resume. Call yours what you will. Hit the Create Menu button. And we're going to be using custom links for this. Okay, well now we've got to create a menu. Essential for getting to the various different sections. This would work without it as it's a one-page scrolling site. But it just makes it a lot more professional if you can click on something and it takes that section up every time you click on it. To do that today, we're going to go down to the dashboard, to Appearance and Menus. We're going to create a new menu, but instead of using page links as you would traditionally, we're going to use what they call custom links. Really easy to do. All you do is click on custom links, put the URL in there. In our case, the URL is an anchor tag. So it's a hashtag followed by a CSS ID that we've given all of our sections a unique CSS ID. And then you put in down below what you want it to actually say on the menu. Really easy to do, rinse and repeat. Once you're done, you're done. Let's get back to it. So if we go back to our page, don't need to link to this one, it's right at the top. About, I want to make sure this has got a CSS ID of about. And we'll go in there. Advanced CSS IDs and classes. No ID, I'm going to call this about. Keep things simple. I know I've got experience, edu, I've done all of those right there. So we can go back to our menus here. Like I say, we're using custom links. So I'm going to click on custom link there. The URL is a hashtag because we're linking to a CSS ID, then a name, about. Put in what you want it to say on the menu. And then hit add to menu. And our next section was experience. Make sure we've got a CSS ID on that. Fantastic. EXP. So we know exactly what to do here. Hashtag EXP. And we're going to call it experience. It's great. When you're happy, add it to the menu. Now I'm not going to go through all these. I'm going to flip back to the menu that I had before, which should work perfectly because it's exactly the same. So I'm going to select the menu to edit. I've got to save this one initially. We'll flip back to that one that was just called Res. select. And as you can see, it's exactly the same thing. We just add custom links for all these other ones here. Now, once you've done that, you can assign it to the primary menu, which is our heading up here. You can also select it for the footer menu, which I've done here. And again, once you're happy, make sure you hit the save menu. And we should be pretty much good to go. There's only one more thing I'll show you. Let's go back to our page here. Make sure everything's saved. And we'll exit the Visual Builder. And we're at our home here with the hero section. Let's check our menu links are going to work. Here's the about. Takes us to the about. Experience. Should take us down one more. Education. Skipped over that brand one. Portfolio. A little portfolio there. References. And contact. Take us down to that contact form. Fantastic. The only thing left is got this little area right here that's called the widget area. Now if you delete all your widgets, that should disappear, but sometimes it doesn't. So if I inspect this, I'm going to write one little line of code, and I'll put this down below the video for anybody that needs to use it. I'm going to inspect this. Let's just roll up a bit so we can see what we've inspected here. And it's got an ID of footer widgets, and we can see it over here. We've got elements selected this side, so we've got HTML. We've got style selected this side, so we've got CSS. And most browsers have this nowadays. I'm using Google Chrome. If yours doesn't, Google Chrome is a free download. So I'm going to put display none, display none. And as you can see, or as you can't see, it's gone. There's our footer menu in there. The only other things I didn't show you was where to put your footer credits in there. I'll do that in a moment, but I've got to copy this from that closing curly bracket there to the hashtag up here, Control C. We'll go back to our customizer. I've got it open here. I can put this in the additional CSS panel. If I go back down the bottom, we've got additional CSS. I've already got a bunch in mine. I'm going to scoot down what's ever there. You probably won't have anything in it if you've got a fresh install. I'm going to paste that bit of code that we copied in here. Footer widgets, display none. Now we can get rid of that padding entry down there because we only want to keep the bits that we've changed. And again, make sure you publish. And one final little bit. Down here we've got our John Simmons web designer. Still in our customizer here. If we roll back, look down here, we've got footer. And this is the bottom bar right here. And there it is, John Simmons web designer. You can put in anything you want. And if we go back here, you may find that you've got some social media icons there. I didn't see they were necessary as we've got our own on the page. And that's under footer elements. If you want to show them, you can do so here. And there they are. But like I say, we've got ours here, so I didn't want to show those. And if you do show them, I'll show you where you can put your code. Let's just make sure we've got everything saved here. For the footer social medias, if you choose to use them, if we go down to our Divi again, to the theme options, roll down. Here's where you can put your Facebook, X, Instagram, etc. Put the URLs in there. And again, once you do anything on this page, make sure you save your changes. Fantastic. Well, we should be good to go. Let's just take one more look at this site. Check out everything's working okay. There's our little back to the top button. It's going to take us back to the top. Our button here, contact me, that should take us down to the contact form. So if we click on it, fantastic, takes us down there. Let's go back up to the top. About me, experience, no buttons there. Here's one for the portfolio, should take us straight down to that portfolio. Fantastic. And this, when we click on it, should take us to that site in a new window here. Fantastic. And if we go back up, I think we're in experience or something like that. There's our little brands, more information. That should take us down to our contact form also. Excellent. And underneath the portfolio, we've got more information. That should take us down to our form also. Brilliant. References. Here we've got our animated slider. Every 7 seconds it should roll around to the next reference. Just like that. Great. And that's pretty much it. We've got our email, number, social media icons there. We've got our awesome web designer footer credit. And of course we've got this at the bottom here that will also take us to all of these sections. So there you have it. That site is working perfectly for us. So there we have it, guys. There's a full resume site for you. It's a one-page scrolling site. It's interactive. Got some great little features on there. You can add to it. You can take away parts really easy. It's really easy to clone sections if you just want to add another section of a similar topic to fit whatever your resume happens to be. And it's a wonderful way of showcasing your styles, sending somebody to a website rather than sending them a little PDF document, something like that. It's interactive, so it'll get their interest more, and because they're actually scrolling up and down it and looking at it, they'll probably remember you a little bit more for that. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, because it's always great to hear from you, and subscribe to our YouTube channel here. If you have enjoyed this, have a look at our Divi for Beginners playlist. It should pop up over here any moment now. There's some really good stuff on there if you're not quite sure what you're doing with Divi yet. And even if you are, there's probably some good stuff on there too. So once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.